The alarm screamed through the quiet space station floating near the moon. Dr. Kim. Hannah dropped her coffee cup and ran to her computer screen. The numbers jumping across her monitor made her hands shake. In 15 years of watching space, she had never seen anything like this. Commander Park Jun-ho. She shouted across the room. You have to see this right now. Park Jun-ho walked over quickly. His old face showed worry as he looked at the data flowing across the screens. The readings were impossible. Huge objects were appearing near Neptune, each one bigger than all of Earth's spaceships put together. How many are there? He asked. In a quiet voice, I count over 3,000 ships, Hannah said, her fingers moving fast on the light-up controls. Commander, they're all lined up perfectly. This isn't an accident. Someone planned this. The same scary scene was happening all over the solar system. At the space station near Mars, alarms were ringing. At the asteroid belt, computers were going crazy with warnings. Lieutenant Lee Min-ho was on his patrol ship called Defender when his screens lit up with red dots. Each dot was an alien ship so big, it made his warship look like a tiny fish next to a whale. Min-ho stared at his screen and felt his heart beating fast. This can't be real, he whispered to himself. But the computer kept beeping, telling him. The ships were getting closer. On Earth, President Choi Yuna was woken up in the middle of the night. She ran to the war room under the government building. The big screens on the walls showed maps of space with thousands of red dots moving toward Earth. What are our choices? She asked Defense Minister Song Kyung. Song looked at the screens and shook his head. We're getting all our ships ready to fight. If those alien ships are so big, this isn't going to be a war. It's going to be the end of us. The alien ships kept moving toward Earth. They didn't send any messages. They didn't try to talk. They just moved forward like they owned the whole universe. Back at the space station, Dr. Kim Hannah was trying to understand what she was seeing. Each alien ship was as long as a city. Some were even bigger. They had strange shapes that didn't look like anything humans had ever built. Ships seemed to bend light around them, making them hard to see clearly. Are they trying to talk to us? Commander Park Jun-ho asked. No signals at all, Hannah replied. No radio, no light signals, nothing. They're just ... coming on. People were starting to panic. The government tried to keep it secret, but word was getting out. Social media was full of pictures from people who worked at space stations. The pictures showed the alien fleet getting bigger and bigger as it came closer to Earth. In the war room, military officers were looking at battle plans. General Kim Dae pointed at the screen. Even if we use all our nuclear weapons, we can't stop ships that big. We need a miracle. President Choi Yuna felt the weight of the whole world on her shoulders. How long do we have? Their current speed. They'll reach Earth in 6 days, Song replied. The alien ships moved in perfect lines, like soldiers marching. They didn't speed up or slow down. They just kept coming at the same steady pace. It was like they were taking a walk through space, not worried about anything that might try to stop them. Lieutenant Lee Min-ho tried to get closer to the alien fleet with his patrol ship. As he got nearer, his instruments started acting strange. The readings showed energy levels that shouldn't be possible. The alien ship seemed to be made of materials that his sensors couldn't identify. This is Defender to Earth Command, he said into his radio. I'm seeing technology that's thousands of years ahead of ours. Maybe millions of years. These ships are like nothing we've ever imagined. Dr. Kim Hannah was working without sleep, trying to learn everything she could about the alien ships. She noticed that the ships were arranged in groups. Some groups had big ships in the center with smaller ships around them. It looked like a battle formation. They're ready for war, she told Commander Park Jun-ho. Isn't a peaceful visit. They're coming to take over. As the hours passed, more and more countries on Earth started preparing for the worst. Soldiers got ready for battle. Scientists worked on new weapons. Families hugged each other and hoped for the best. But everyone knew the truth. Against ships that big, against technology that advanced, humanity didn't have a chance. The alien Superfleet was coming. There was nothing anyone could do to stop it. The ships kept moving forward through space, silent and deadly, like a storm that would wash over Earth and change everything forever. In 6 days, humanity would learn if they were alone in the universe, or if they were about to become slaves to a power beyond their wildest dreams. The countdown to Earth's judgment day had begun. Admiral Oh-Sung sat in the big chair on the bridge of the ESF engine, Earth's strongest warship. His ship was leading all of Earth's battle fleet toward the alien ships. Everyone knew this would probably be the last fight humanity would ever have. Around him, his crew worked quietly, knowing they were about to die fighting an enemy much stronger than them. "We'll meet the aliens in 40 minutes, said Navigation Officer Nari from her control station. Sung nodded his head and spoke into the radio to all the ships. "All ships, stay in formation. We will fight until the end." Behind the main fleet, Dr. Yunte was on his science ship, watching the alien vessels come closer. His instruments showed readings that made no sense. The alien ships had energy levels that broke all the rules of science. Their metal hulls seemed to eat light and bend it in impossible ways. The human fleet looked tiny compared to the alien ships. Earth's biggest warships were like toys next to the massive alien vessels. The humans kept flying forward anyway, ready to die for their planet. Sir called out sensor specialist Kang Su from his station. "The alien ships are charging their weapons. I can see huge energy building up in all their ships." Admiral Oh-Sung held tight to his chair arms. His heart was beating fast. This was the moment. In a few minutes, the aliens would fire their weapons and destroy every human ship, and they would go to Earth and destroy everyone there too. The alien fleet kept coming closer. Their ships were so big they blocked out the stars. The energy readings from their weapons were growing stronger every second. Some of the alien ships were longer than entire cities. Others were shaped like giant diamonds or triangles. All of them looked deadly. 30 seconds to weapons range, Imnari announced. "Seung. Open the radio channel to all Earth ships one last time. This is Admiral Oh-Sung to all ships. It has been an honor to serve with you. Fight well. Make them remember us." The human fleet, captains, and crews prepared for battle. They knew they would lose, but they would not run away. They would fight for Earth until their last breath. The alien ships were now close enough to see clearly. Their hulls were covered in strange lights and patterns. Weapon ports opened along their sides like the mouths of giant metal beasts. Energy began to glow inside the weapon openings. "Sir, they're about to fire," Kang Su shouted. Then something impossible happened. In the time it takes to blink 3 times, every single alien ship disappeared. Sir Kang Su's voice was high and scared. "They're gone. All of them. Every ship just ... vanished." Admiral Oh-Sung stared at his screen. Where seconds before there had been the biggest fleet of warships anyone had ever seen, now there was only empty space. No explosions, no flashes of light, no broken pieces floating around. Just nothing. Check that reading again," Sung ordered. "I'm checking, sir." "It's confirmed. Complete disappearance. It's like they were never there at all." Dr. Yunte, on his science ship, was looking at the same empty space. His instruments showed nothing. No energy signatures, no metal, no radiation. The alien fleet had simply stopped. "Existing? This is impossible," he whispered. "Ships that big can't just disappear. Where did they go?" On Earth, President Choi Yuna was in the war room staring at the big screens. A moment ago, the screens had been full of red dots, showing the alien fleet. Now the screens showed empty space. She couldn't believe what she was seeing. "Run the check again," she told her officers. "It's already done, Madam President." All sensors confirmed the same thing. The alien fleet is gone. Defense Minister Song Kyung looked confused. "What just happened? Did they ... leave?" "No, sir," said the computer officer. "They didn't move away, just stopped being there." The silence in the war room was heavy. Everyone was trying to understand what had happened. The alien fleet had been about to attack. Their weapons were charging, and in 3 seconds they were gone. Admiral Oh-Sung's voice came through the radio from space. "Earth Command, this is Admiral Sung. The alien fleet has... I don't know how to say this. They've disappeared. All of them. We're scanning the area but finding nothing. President Choi Yuna picked up the radio. Admiral, are you sure they're gone? Could they be hiding somehow? Madam President, I've been in space for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this. It's like someone erased them from existence. Back on the warship, the crew was still, staring at empty space. Some of them were crying with relief. Others looked scared and confused. They had been ready to die and now they were alive, but didn't know why. Orders, sir? Asked him Nari. Admiral Osung didn't know what to say. How do you give orders when the impossible has just happened? How do you explain that the biggest threat in human history has just vanished into nothing? Hold position. Finally said, keep scanning. And try to figure out where 3,000 alien warships went. 3 weeks had passed since the alien ships disappeared, and the whole world was still asking the same question. What happened? Dr. Jang Hai was Earth's smartest space scientist, and she was leading a team to find answers. Their research ship, called Discovery, was flying to the exact spot where the alien fleet had vanished. Sending out the robot probes now, said her helper, Dr. Bei-Wu. He pressed buttons on his control panel. And dozens of small machines flew out of their ship. Each probe had special sensors that could detect things human eyes couldn't see. Dr. Jang Hai watched the data coming back from the probes. What she saw made her feel sick to her stomach. The readings were impossible. According to everything scientists knew, what she was seeing couldn't exist. Dr. Anyan, come look at this. She called to the team's physics expert. Dr. Anyan floated over in the zero gravity of the ship and looked at the screen. Her face went pale. These readings, they show traces of matter that shouldn't exist. And look at this. When our probes try to get a closer look, the traces disappear. What does that mean? Asked Dr. Bei-Wu. It means something played with space and time itself, Dr. Anyan replied. Space was bent and twisted here. But nothing in nature can do this. Someone or something made this happen on purpose. Back on Earth, a newspaper reporter named Name Day was digging through old government files. He'd been working for weeks, trying to find any clues about what could make an entire alien fleet vanish. Most of the files were boring reports about space missions and budget numbers. But then he found something that made his hand shake. Li Yun, come here, he called to his research partner. Look at this file. Li Yun looked at the computer screen. It showed money being spent on something called the Quantum Defense Grid. The strange thing was, officially, this project didn't exist. There were no public records of it anywhere. This is weird, Li Yun said. Look at these numbers. They've been spending money on this secret project for 30 years. But all the details are marked as top secret. Namde kept searching through more files. Every time he found a reference to the Quantum Defense Grid, the important details were blacked out or missing. It was like someone was trying very hard to hide what this project really was. Oh? What if Namde said slowly, what if our government built something that could make alien ships disappear? What if we had a secret weapon and didn't even know it? Meanwhile, on the Discovery, Dr. Jang Hai was making a discovery that would change everything. She had been comparing the strange readings from space with theoretical predictions from Earth's most advanced science projects. What she found made her heart beat fast. The exotic matter signatures matched predictions from a classified Earth project. She told her team, but this project isn't supposed to work yet. The technology shouldn't exist. Are you saying Earth made the alien ships disappear? Run the analysis again, Dr. Jang Hai ordered. Make sure we're not making a mistake. Dr. Bei-Wu worked on his computer for an hour, checking and double-checking the results. When he was done, his face was white with shock. The results are the same, he said. Whatever made the alien fleet disappear, it came from Earth. The quantum signatures match our own theoretical technology. Dr. Anyan was studying the space-time distortions around the area where the aliens had vanished. This level of technology is incredible, she said. To bend space and time like this, well, it would take energy equal to a star-going supernova. How could Earth have this kind of power? Back on Earth, Namde had found more clues. Hidden in the government files were references to underground facilities all over the world, facilities that were supposedly for scientific research, but used more electricity than entire cities. Look at this map, he showed Li Jun. There are 17 of these facilities. They're all connected somehow, and they're all powered by the same quantum energy source. Li Yun studied the map. These locations are all in places where strange things have happened throughout history. UFO disappearances, unexplained phenomena, mysterious lights in the sky. What if Namde said, what if these facilities have been protecting Earth for longer than we think? What if the alien fleet wasn't the first threat to just vanish? On the Discovery, Dr. Zhang Hai was putting together all the pieces. The quantum, signatures, the energy readings, the space-time distortions, they all pointed to the same impossible conclusion. Team meeting, she announced. I need to share what we've discovered. Scientists gathered around her in the main lab. Dr. Zhang Hai took a deep breath before speaking. The alien fleet didn't disappear by accident, and they didn't leave on their own. Something on Earth made them vanish. Something we built but don't understand. Something that's been protecting us without us even knowing it. The room was silent. Everyone was trying to process what this meant. Earth had a secret defense system powerful enough to make 3,000 alien warships disappear in seconds. But if Earth built it, why didn't anyone know about it? Deep under the city of Seoul, 3 kilometers below the busy streets, Dr. Shimrei stood in a secret room that most people didn't know existed. The room was filled with huge computers that hummed quietly in the darkness. These weren't normal computers. They were quantum machines that could do things regular computers couldn't even imagine. For 20 years, Dr. Shimrei had worked on the most secret project in human history. It was called the Quantum Defense Grid, and officially, it didn't exist. The government had no records of it. No one talked about it, but it was real, and it had just saved the world. The automatic systems turned on by themselves, she explained. To a group of important government officials who had been rushed to the facility, when the alien ships got too close, the grid started working on its own. We didn't tell it to do anything. The committee chair, Kim Hyun, leaned forward in his seat. He looked confused and scared. Are you saying that Earth has a defense system that can make an entire alien army disappear and nobody knew about it? Not exactly, Dr. Shim replied. She looked tired, like she hadn't slept in days. We built the system from old blueprints we found, but we thought it would take us many more years to make it work. We didn't know it was already working. All around the world, similar secret facilities were waking up for the first time in thousands of years. In the Amazon jungle, deep under the sand of the Sahara Desert, at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, quantum machines that scientists had thought were broken were suddenly working together. Agent Park Yoon worked for Earth's intelligence, the secret organization that kept track of strange things happening around the world. Her phone had been ringing all day with reports from every continent. Sir, we have quantum energy signatures activating at 17 different locations around the world, she reported to her boss, Director Han Mu. These installations are all connected somehow. They're talking to each other. Director Han Mu looked at the world map on his computer screen. Red dots were lighting up all over the globe, showing where the quantum facilities were located. His face showed amazement and fear. How long have these facilities been active? He asked. Agent Park Yoon checked her computer readings. What she saw made her hands tremble. According to the quantum patterns, they've been running background operations. For about 3,000 years, the room went completely silent. Everyone stared at the numbers on the screen. 3,000 years. That was longer than most of human civilization. It was longer than the pyramids had existed. It was longer than recorded history. It's impossible, someone whispered. But the evidence was right there on the screens. The quantum defense grid hadn't been built by modern humans. It had been protecting Earth since ancient times, working quietly in the background. It's making threats disappear before people even knew they were in danger. Dr. Shimrei's voice was so quiet that everyone had to lean in to hear her. We didn't build this system. We just learned how to see it. So the truth was starting to become clear. Somewhere in the past, someone had built an incredibly advanced defense system to protect Earth. For thousands of years, it had been working automatically, removing threats that approached the planet. The alien fleet was just the latest danger to be eliminated, but who built it? asked Kim Haeon. If we didn't build it, who did? Dr. Shimray pulled up more data on her computer. We found the blueprints in ancient ruins. The writing looked like no human language we'd ever seen. But when we studied it more carefully, we realized it was in a very old form of human writing, so old that it came from before our recorded history. The implications were staggering. This meant that humans had once been much more advanced than they were now. At some point in the distant past, Earth had been home to a civilization with technology that could bend space and time itself. Where did they go? Director Hanmu asked. If humans were so advanced, what happened to them? We don't know, Dr. Shimray admitted. But they left this system behind to protect us, to protect their descendants, to protect the new humans who would come after them. Agent Park Yoon was reading more reports from around the world. Getting strange readings from archaeological sites too. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Easter Island, they're all showing quantum signatures. It's like they were all part of the same network. The ancient monuments that people had wondered about for centuries were actually part of Earth's defense system. The mysterious stones and structures weren't just art or religion, they were quantum nodes, working together to protect the planet. How many times has this system saved us? Kim Haeon asked. Dr. Shimray looked at the historical data. We're finding evidence of threats being eliminated throughout history. Things that were recorded as miracles or divine intervention. Showers that mysteriously changed course. Hostile ships that vanished without explanation. Natural disasters that suddenly stopped. The room was quiet as everyone realized what this meant. Earth's ancient guardians had been protecting humanity for thousands of years, and no one had known. The alien fleet was just the most recent threat to be quietly eliminated by humanity's forgotten protectors, deep under the Global Defense Council building. In the deepest basement that few people knew existed, Dr. Komin was looking at old artifacts that had been stored and forgotten for many years. She was an archaeologist, someone who studied ancient things to learn about the past, metal objects. In front of her had strange symbols carved into them that no one had been able to read for months. Everyone thought these symbols were made by aliens. But as Dr. Ko Min studied them more carefully, she realized something amazing. The symbols weren't alien writing at all. Director Lim Jae, she called to her boss, her voice shaking with excitement. These aren't alien artifacts. They're human. Just incredibly old. Director Lim Jae walked over and looked at the metal pieces. Are you sure? The symbols look nothing like any human language I've ever seen. That's because they're from before recorded history, Dr. Ko Min explained. This is human writing, but it's thousands of years older than anything we've found before. We're looking at artifacts from an ancient human civilization. It took weeks for Dr. Ko Min and her team to translate the symbols. Working day and night, they slowly figured out what the ancient humans had written. When they finally understood the message, it changed everything humanity thought they knew about themselves. The metal artifacts told an incredible story. Long ago, Earth had been home to a human civilization much more advanced than today's world. These ancient humans had technology that could control space and time itself. They had built cities that floated in the sky and machines that could travel to the stars. But the most important part of the message was about what happened next. The ancient humans had evolved beyond the need for physical bodies. They had become beings of pure energy, existing in a higher dimension. Before they left the physical world, they had built guardians to protect their younger brothers and sisters. The new humans who would be born on Earth in the future, President Choi Yoon called an emergency meeting with leaders from every country. In the world, the big meeting room was full of presidents, prime ministers, and kings. She stood at the front with a serious expression on her face. Ladies and gentlemen, she said, we are not the first human civilization on Earth. We are the inheritors of a legacy that spans the galaxy. The room erupted in shocked voices. Everyone was talking at once, asking questions and expressing disbelief. President Choi Yoon raised her hand for silence. Evidence is overwhelming, she continued. The quantum defense grid, the ancient archives, the mysterious disappearances of threats throughout human history that we thought were luck or miracles. All of it has been Earth's hidden guardians working in the shadows. Admiral Oh Sung, who now led the newly formed Cosmic Defense Division, had been studying reports from all over the solar system. He stood up to address the world leaders. The alien fleet wasn't the first threat the grid eliminated, he said. We're finding evidence of dozens of similar incidents over the past 3,000 years. Asteroid impacts that mysteriously changed course. Hostile alien scouts that vanished without a trace. Solar flares that were somehow redirected away from Earth. Dr. Yunte's research team had made an even more incredible discovery. He projected a star map onto the big screen in the meeting room. The quantum signatures suggest our predecessors didn't just protect Earth, he announced. They've been protecting multiple worlds across the galaxy. We're part of a network of civilizations under their guardianship. The star map showed dozens of solar systems, each one marked with the same quantum signature that Earth's defense grid produced. Humanity wasn't alone in the universe. They were part of a cosmic family, being protected by their ancient ancestors. As the world leaders tried to process this information, Dr. Komen shared more translations from the ancient artifacts. The messages spoke of a time when the advanced humans would return to guide their descendants. They had been waiting for the younger humans to evolve enough to understand their true heritage. We are not a young, vulnerable species struggling to survive, President Choi Yunus said. We are the inheritors of a cosmic guardianship that spans the stars. Even as the world leaders met, the quantum defense grid continued its silent work. Deep in space, new threats were approaching Earth's solar system. A group of hostile alien ships was planning to attack Earth, just like the Superfleet had done weeks earlier, but before they could get close enough to be detected by Earth's sensors. The ships simply vanished. One moment they were there, the next they were gone, transported to a dimension where they could cause no harm. The ancient guardians were still watching. They'd been protecting Earth for thousands of years, and they would continue to do so. The quantum defense grid worked automatically, removing threats before they could endanger the planet. Humanity was finally beginning to understand who they really were. They weren't helpless beings at the mercy of a dangerous universe. They were the protected children of the most advanced civilization that had ever existed, inheritors of technology and wisdom that spanned the galaxy. The alien Superfleet had come to conquer Earth, but instead they had awakened humanity to their true destiny. Earth's children were ready to take their place among the stars, knowing that their ancient guardians would always be watching over them.